Racing on Thursday takes place out at the Vaal, Thursday the 9th of May 2024. We've got an 8-race program lined up with race number 1 set to get underway at 12:30. It is the start of the bar pot, and we begin with a maiden juvenile plate over 1600 meters. And joining me on the line is Alistair Cohn. And Alistair, how are you doing?
Yeah, good, thanks, Raheel. Life's all good, obviously, on the back of all the racing on Wednesday at Hollywoodbets Greyville, and obviously looking forward to this weekend as well with more feature race action to look forward to. Tuesday looked impossible, but a lot of people won. Not me, unfortunately, but hopefully there'll be quite a lot to come through with it all and on the back of it all. But yeah, looking forward to this Thursday card out at the Vaal. Should be good fun.
Yeah, I think the biggest win on Tuesday was that play in the Hollywoodbets Punters Challenge. I mean, what a sort of great initiative it's been from Hollywoodbets, because we've had so many winners in that challenge, and a lot of people have their lives have changed with that challenge being victorious.
Yeah, another 840,000 rand paid out for a clean sweep, 8 out of 8 on the day, which, I mean, look, this time last year, I remember leading up to the Hollywoodbets Durbanville, well, certainly the Hollywoodbets Gold Challenge, there was a big promotion and a big push from Hollywoodbets to get 10,000 people to play on that day, and now we're getting 12,000 people on a Vaal meeting on a Tuesday. That doesn't really attract the creme de la creme, so that was good to see that the snowball effect, the ball is rolling, people are interested, people are playing. I think that just shows that, you know, there are a lot of people still following racing, and hopefully to direct them up the same avenue would be a good start. So good signs. Well done to the winner on Tuesday with the 840,000 rand. Enjoy it, because we could all use that type of cash.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's a free to enter competition if you are not already playing in that Hollywoodbets Punters Challenge. Now, race number 1 on Thursday, 12:30, 1600 meters, Parisian Walkway at 11 to 10 has found early support from 16 to 10. Pearl in a Crown is at 2 to 1. Sonic Jet at 22 to 10. And then it is 12 to 1 and Better Ball those. So there's just 3 horses in single figures here. And it's interesting that Alec Laird decided to run this horse against older horses on debut, when behind So Seductive. He was beaten 4.5 lengths. And in that race was the horse that was heavily supported from the Tony Peter yard, who ran second, I think it was. And this horse, fair run on debut, he can only improve, and the step up in trip will certainly be right up his alley.
Yeah, a few angles to report out of this Thursday card. First of all, the outside rail set at 0, so down the straight you'd anticipate the high number draws would be advantageous, so just bear that in mind. The bar pot is my suggested bet on the card on this 8-race program, and I think the first race is pretty difficult to figure out, Raheel. Going 1,600 meters down the straight in the Vaal for juveniles is not easy at all. Funny enough, Sonic Jet finished in front of number 4, Pearl in her Crown, when they met behind across the pond. Both of them are making their debuts, so there's not much to split them. There was about a length in it. Pearl in her Crown's 1 run less than Sonic Jet, so she might be more upwardly mobile, but I would also think that Sonic Jet would be more adept to going a mile, because she's been this distance before, although not down the straight. So that's interesting between those two. But I'm going to take a stab that number 3, Parisian Walkway, is the right one here. As you mentioned, interesting that he made his debut against older company. You know, you can only do that from the 1st of April, 2-year-olds taking on older company, so he was pretty quick out the blocks from that perspective, and he ran well behind So Seductive. Could have been better, could have been much worse. I'd anticipate that a Sun by Ideal World out of a Master Craftsman mare will have absolutely no issue stepping up in distance. Took him a while to warm up, and that 1160 was a nice pipe opener, and a high number draw, despite it being a small field, should be an advantage. So my bar pot numbers here are going to be numbers 3 and 6, but the winner could come from any of the 3. I think to look past them would be foolhardy, so that's how I read the first race on the card.
Perhaps it could be a trifecta to get your day started, numbers 3, 4 and 6 in race number 1. Race number 2, it's a juvenile plate for the fillies, 1200 meters the distance, 1 o'clock is the off time, and race 2 is the start of the place accumulator. And we've got the SA Fillies nursery winner, Little Ballerina, back in action. She's been priced up at 3 to 10. It's 5 to 1 about Green Sapphire, and then it's 8 to 1 and Better Ball those. Now, Little Ballerina, after what was a moderate run on debut, I'd say, behind Sahara Cat, although when you look back, that form line has certainly held up quite nicely, and she's put her best foot forward after that debut run, despite winning at odds of 100 to 1. She's kicked on with her career, and she seems to be a really smart filly in the making, Alistair.
Yeah, it was amazing the turnaround from her first run to her second. Gareth Wright got off and said, this filly's good, and she's going to learn so much from the run. And that gap between her first run and World Sportsman in Cape Town Met Day, when she won the big prize on the Cape Racing Cape Slipper, Candace said, I can't believe the filly that she suddenly become from run 1 to run 2. Obviously not really expecting her to go and win the Cape Slipper, but then she did. And the form is now 7 from 18 direct winners. 7 from 19 direct winners, and I think 12 winners in total out of that form line. It's absolutely frightening. Beaten by 1 stripe in the Cape of Good Hope Nursery. There's no disgrace at all. Perhaps a little bit unlucky because the runner-up went across her at a crucial stage. She may have run second, but anyway, would have taken third after her first run. And then obviously winning the South African Fillies Nursery, that's come out well because Just Reckless has won a graded feature at Hollywoodbets Scottsville, and You Bring Me Joy has won. The horses well in behind. Alson and Zalana's horses come out and run a crack at that famous lady. So all the form works out well. It is a prep run for Hollywoodbets Scottsville. The Alan Robertson on the 1st of June is her immediate target from here, so this is just to keep her going. She's in an unbelievably good space, I can report on that. She has to give weight away, so maybe that is a little bit of a worry, but all said and done, be disappointed if she can't win. She's a banker in the bar pot. The interesting run is obviously number 5 Green Sapphire, well-bred daughter of Gimme the Green Light, who I think would probably be more effective over a mile, but this is normally the time that Sean Terry opens up the pipes. I don't see any precocious 2-year-old fillies from Sean's yard, definitely a few colts, but fillies I think he might be lacking with. There might be some classic fillies rather than those precocious sprinting types. Maybe this is the one that he's been holding back. So if there's any interest in the market in number 5 Green Sapphire, take that on board, but it's a first timer taking on a horse that's won at grade 2 level. She'll have to be very, very good.
All in with horse number 1, Little Ballerina, as she looks to get that 3rd victory under her belt, and Alan Robertson the main target for now. Moving along to race number 3, maiden plate over 1400 meters, 13:35 is the off time. It is a start off the pick 6, and your favorite is number 12 Grand Crescendo from the Candace Dawson yard. Gavin Larina takes a ride, priced up at 8 to 10. It's 11 to 10 about horse number 14 Shin to Shrine. It's in 16 to 1 and better bar though. So there's just 2 horses in single figures here and 2 horses that are likely to fight it out. Now Grand Crescendo has run behind Roman Agent, and both those form lines have been franked, and he's having his first start in the Highveld, and there's no doubt that the step up in trip will suit him quite nicely. He's a 2-year-old son of One World. And then we've got number 14, who ran a very nice race on debut behind Cosmic Speed, who's likely to come to KZN for the feature races.
Yeah, I'm sure Cosmic Speed is going to be coming to KZN for the feature races, which does shine a good light on number 14 Shinto Shrine, but Grand Crescendo is a very nice horse. Half-brother to Singapore Sling. At Hollywoodbets Kenilworth, he ran differently, but the same margin behind Roman Agent. First time he was all at sea, came out inexperienced, actually ran on okay behind Roman Agent, and then the second time showed more pace and just couldn't quite sustain it. He was never going to be a sprinter, never expectations that he could win a sprint in Cape Town. Would have been nice to get an extra run under the belt, but obviously Candace left Cape Town at the end of February, so this was just the natural next option. So he's doing well at home. He's not 100% match fit, but hopefully fit enough to go very close here. Ultimately, he'll probably need gelding. So all those things are against number 12 Grand Crescendo, but he's a good horse, he's in good shape, and it's a weak field, so expecting him to go very well. 14 Shinto Shrine is fitter. Good debut run behind Cosmic Speed. There was actually a bit of money on Shinto Shrine before he completely drifted off the boards. He had a good draw on that occasion on the Turfentine inside track. He's not got the same type of draw this time around, drawn towards the inside down the straight. Won't be all that easy for number 14 Shinto Shrine, but what he's got that Grand Crescendo hasn't got is just a little bit more fitness on his side. In the bar pot, I've gone with both horses. I'd be absolutely astonished if something upstaged them and we went out this leg of the bar pot, but in my heart of hearts, I think maybe number 14 Shinto Shrine might have number 12 Grand Crescendo's number this time around, but keep an eye on number 12 Grand Crescendo. He's definitely going to win his races. He's a nice horse.
There's very little to choose between them in the market at 8 to 10 and 11 to 10, and these 2 horses are the likely ones that will run first and second. Race number 4, 1600 meters. It's an MR80 handicap. And your favorite is number 5, Officer in Command at 5-2. 3-1 about Majestic Palace, 33-10 King's Express, 6-1 Nordic Rebel, and then it's 7-1 and better bar those. Now, number 5, Officer in Command, he showed quite a bit of pace last time out, as he did in his penultimate start, trying to make all, and he was beaten 2.5 lengths. I thought a fair run, given that he was taking a step up in class, considering that he won his maiden against winners in his penultimate start, and he comes in with 59 kg, so he's definitely going to be a horse that will run a huge race. But you've got this horse, Majestic Palace, who I'm not quite sure whether he's the most reliable sort. I mean, going on his form, he's definitely not, but he's clearly got ability, because last time out, the challengers came and he continued to find all the way to the line, and he actually won quite a nice race, and he has won over the track and trip, which will certainly suit him.
I don't really have a top selection here. It's very difficult to eliminate anyone. I've gone half the field in my bipod, Raheel, and if you threw me the other 4 horses, I'd probably feel just as uncomfortable or just as comfortable. So my numbers here are 2, 3, 4, and 6, and obviously number 5, Officer in Command, are sort of next in line, and I'm also willing to give number 7, Sage King, another chance. So I think all those horses have legitimate winning chances. My top selection is number 4, Majestic Palace, the half-brother to Master Archie, as you mentioned. Good relentless gallop last time when beating Golden Pavilion, who are like to run a huge race on Sunday at Turfentine. Penultimate start was just drawn on the wrong side of the track behind juries. Everything with a high number draw on that day was dead in the water. He came and turned that form around like so many others, like Master Christmas, another case in point, who finished just in front of Majestic Palace and came out and franked that form. As you mentioned, might not be the most reliable around number 4, Majestic Palace, but maybe he's got to grips, he's got an outside draw, and he's likely to be one of those horses ridden forward. If he's left alone, he could be a difficult horse to peg back, just like he was last time. 3, Mardi Gras, despite being drawn on the inside, it's only a field of 8. I know the connections are dying for him to get a 10th career win under the belt. When he does that, I think they're going to find him a good home. He hasn't won in nearly 2 years, the son of Oratoria, but what a servant he's been for the connections and for the yard. I think with a 4-kilo claim, he could be a little bit more effective. I know that he's had nerve and Nastili in his last 2 starts, and he got a penalty for being a loser at his penultimate start, so maybe that just took the wind out of his sails, but he's hinting that 10th career win will come. Number 2, King's Express, very disappointing last time out, but was reported to be not striding out. I never know what to make of a horse that returned not striding out after a run and is back 16 days later. Does that mean that the lack of rest and recovery has done him a world of good? He's just come out the next day and sparked up after a run where obviously things didn't go according to plan, or is he coming back too soon? I have absolutely no idea how to read that, but Majestic Palace looks to be a better horse down the straight. As we know, Vaal Straight, 1,600 metres, is a specialist course in distance. He's got a 50% win record at this course. And then number 6, Nordic Rebel. What a servant. I mean, he's a rising 11-year-old. He's been off 63 days. Erico Verdenese has done an unbelievable job with the son of Rebel King. He's got his best mate, Gavin Larena, on board. And talking of course specialists, here's a case in point. 7 of his 12 career wins have come at this course. The son of Rebel King is just absolutely lovable, a soldier for the yard, a soldier of racing. I'll go as far as saying that. I'd love it if he won sentimentally. I think I'd like him to win. It's not going to be straightforward, but he'll be bang there, because that's just what Nordic Rebel does.
He's a horse that has only missed the top 4 on 1 occasion over track and trip. From 9 runs, he's notched up 3 victories, so he's definitely a horse that absolutely thrives over this mile trip at the Vaal. So he's definitely a horse that, around 6-1. He could certainly represent some nice value, given that he's a 12-time winner. He is taking on younger horses, but he could certainly be up to the task, and he could show these older horses who's boss. These younger horses, rather, who's boss in race number 4. Race number 5, a middle stakes over 2,000 meters, 14:45 is the off time. And Sukhumvit is the favorite at 18-10. Total Surrender at 7-2. Sugar Blast is at 6-1. It's in 7-1 and best of all those. There has been a touch of support for Home of the Brave, 16-1 into 10-1. Now, given that it's a middle stakes, the fillies are obviously suited to the conditions of the race. And Sukhumvit comes in with 53.5 kgs on the back. She ran second behind Frances Ettel in the Oaks trial, and we've seen that form line to the fore, obviously, with Frances Ettel coming through to win the Oaks. And she's a filly that seems to have quite a lot of ability, and she does return off a layoff. I'm keen to see whether she's a horse that Alec Laird will bring down to KZN for maybe one or two of the feature races?
I'm sure there's got to be some thoughts here, Raheel. What circumvent is that no one else in this race is untapped and unexposed. I know the connections were devastated that she got scratched from the Volkerbos Drift South African Oaks. She, on the run to Francis Ethel, would have been a huge runner. She would have gone very, very close in the Oaks, just simply on how everything went. So she's got a lot to come, this daughter of Silvano, and that's another key. Being by Silvano, she's probably nowhere near her peak yet, so you'd expect more as her racing career goes on. She's got a lot weight in this race, as you mentioned, well weighted, being a filly in a middle stakes. She's got a lot in her favour. It's just whether she's ready yet to take on these grizzled veterans that have been there, done that, and got the t-shirt. So Circumvent is my top selection, but with that said, I've got backup in my bar pots and obviously in other bets. Number 2, Sugar Blast, first run for the yard was good behind Total Surrender. Total Surrender, Miller Hugh and Sugar Blast all come from the same form line. Total Surrender's obviously got a little bit more to do with the weights. Miller Hugh's got a very positive swing at the weights. That was a good run from Miller Hugh on the back of a long break. I thought he would have needed the run, but he stayed on very strongly from a long way back. He was the best finisher in the race. He caught my eye and he just screamed, next time I run, I'll be a big runner. So Miller Hugh's in. Number 2, Sugar Blast, wherever they are, they should be in and around each other. And then I've also gone in with a little bit of, not that I'm sidestepping and writing off the chances of Total Surrender, but I've promoted number 7, Imperial Master, up my rankings. Also would have been entitled to need his last run badly over the complete wrong distance. It'd be more at home here, number 7, Imperial Master, 2,000 metres, second run after arrest. Yard and Jockey had a winner at the Vaal on Tuesday with Sovereign's Call. So 7 Imperial Master definitely doesn't have his legs tied up either. He's always capable at this level. So those are my 4 horses that I'm focusing on in the bar pot. In the pick 6, you have to put in number 9, Total Surrender. Lucky Hudolakis at the Vaal, always formidable, in form as well. So there's another runner just to consider in pick 6s and jackpots.
Number 7, Imperial Master, could be some nice value at around 12 to 1 and a nice inclusion into those pick 6s and jackpots. Race number 6, this is a graduation plate over 1,200 meters. 25 past 3 is the off time. And your favorite is number 7, Miamu, 11 to 10. Bimonesque is at 33 to 10. Mount Pilatus at 4 to 1. Chasing Happiness at 5 to 1. And then it is 8 to 1 and better bar those. Now, when we have a look at the best weighted column, Miamu is well clear of the rest of the field here, and her run in the Amzam Kulu stands out, and it sticks out like a sore thumb. Second to Double Grand Slam. We see Double Grand Slam on Wednesday at Hollywoodbets Greyville, obviously in the Guineas, and she's a warm water favorite to get the job done. So this filly going over 1,200 meters, I don't think it will be a concern. She did win her maiden over 1160, although what did she beat? That is a question mark, but I think she's got the ability to carry her through, and she looks to be a horse that could take some beating in this contest. Alistair, are you of the same opinion, or you have respect for a couple others?
I have respect for a couple of others here, Raheel, because I'm a little bit dicey about her over 1,200 metres. It takes her a while to warm up. As you mentioned, she won over 1160, but she beat Gold Agent. Gold Agent's still a maiden. And look, she beat Gold Agent well. She stepped up in distance and in class straight away, and she adapted very nicely. Something had to run second in the Umzum Kulu, and I thought Miamu actually stayed on very nicely. So I would have thought that maybe Sean Terry would have another tilt down in KZN, but alas, here we are at the Vaal on a Thursday instead. If she is undone, it will be because 1,200 metres is too sharp for her. Where she goes from here, maybe the 1,400 to Machina. Maybe that's the setup here for number 7, Miamu. I don't know, but we'll find out soon enough. She is miles ahead in the best weighted column. So from that perspective, absolutely every chance. She should take all the beating. It's just a matter of whether she can turn it on in time on a Vaal track that is going to be running pretty quickly. 3, Bimonesque. I don't think you know how good this horse is. His first start to Sovereign State, obviously King of the Gauls, was next to Bimonesque. King of the Gauls is now a listed winner. There are targets for him at Hollywoodbets Scottsville, and there's certainly big ideas for him in Cape Town next season. So very interesting runner, number 3, Bimonesque. Pierre Stratham takes her out for Mike de Kock. Of course, Pierre is now retained by the Allied Steel Road Racing Syndicate of Arun Chadha. So very interested to see how he goes. First run after a long break. He'll obviously come on with a run under the belt. He's likely to need a little bit. but the reports I've heard from the guys around the camp is that he's a very, very good racehorse, number 3, Beemanesque. And then probably the most solid opposition, or most solid proposition here is number 2, Mount Pilatus. Although he hasn't won since his debut, the son of Pomodoro, his rating was a bit high. So I think the program he's had to take is the program he's had to take. He's been in graduation plates and all sorts of races that probably don't suit the son of Pomodoro. Again, in a graduation plate, but he might have a little bit more going for him in that he's probably a better horse over this trip than Mia Moo, and he'll be more fit than Beemanesque, although over anything further, Mia Moo would beat Mount Pilatus, and I think with a run under the belt, Beemanesque would beat Mount Pilatus as well. So maybe this will be just his day to ride his luck, number 2, Mount Pilatus. I've got time for him in this race.
2, 3, and 7 perhaps horses that you can play around in race number 6. Mia Moo, she's priced up at 11 to 10, but the horse that is of interest here is definitely number 3, Beemanesque. He's only had 2 starts to date. He's returning off arrest and Galdin, and the fitness is a question mark with him heading into the race, but there's untapped potential there with the son of Rafif. Race number 7, a middle stakes over 1,200 meters. 4 o'clock is the off time, and the horse number 10, Gimme Fabulous, is the favorite here. 2-year-old filly taking on older horses. Gimme Fabulous comes in with 50 kgs. She's at 7 to 10. 4 to 1 about Richard the First. 4 to 1 Wings Within Me. 5 to 1 Dr. Faustus, and then it is 6 to 1 and Better Bar Those. Now, I think this may be the first 2-year-old filly taking on the Galdins, taking on the boys in a winner's race. I'm not sure if it's happened over the past couple of weeks, and you can obviously correct me if I'm wrong, but what do you make of her chances? Could she be vulnerable against the more experienced campaigners despite having just 50 kgs on the back?
I couldn't take the price for Hill. I respect her chances. She would have been an unlucky loser at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth when winning the week before the World Sports Bet in Cape Town met, but the form is not great. Obviously, her debut run was excellent behind Sahara Cat, and that puts her pretty much ahead of Little Ballerina, who's obviously gone on and achieved at a high level. So she will have her supporters, she will have her chance, but it just doesn't sit well with me. I mean, it's a big ask against horses that have run with older. We've got a horse that's run at listed level recently. Prophet, who ran at graded level this time last year, or 2 years ago rather, as a 2-year-old. Paisley Park, although unsound, is a good horse. Ozenker is a real when I say high achiever, I mean he punches above his weight, does number 1 Ozenker. So there's a lot against number 10, Gimme Fabulous. It'll be interesting to see if she's up to it. She could very well be. I'm not writing off her chances for one moment, but I couldn't stand in the queue and take the price that she is. I think she's a little bit too short for me. Horses that I respect in this race, along with her, 4 Black Egret got given a £1 reduction for finishing a length and a half behind in a listed feature last time at Hollywoodbets Scottsville. He's interesting, number 4 Black Egret. When he comes to form in a big way. He's always been like that. When he was with Ashley Fortune, he also sort of hit his straps, went cold, and then with Binder he's done the same thing. So maybe he's coming to life again. Raymond Danielson takes a ride for Binder in the Hollywood Syndicate. He's interesting to me, number 4 Black Egret. 5 Dr. Faustus, I think, has got a reasonable amount of ability. Whether he needs to run or not remains to be seen. Gavin Larina rides for Johan Janssen van Vuren. I think he's just a watch for now, but definitely has a place chance. And then number 1 Ozenker, like I said, he punches above his weight. When he's got a heavy weight, he runs the same type of race as when he takes on better opposition and carries a low weight. He's always good value for trifectas and quartets. But my top choice here, number 4 Black Egret.
Yeah, I think you could be onto something with number 4 Black Egret, because he's been taking on a lot stronger company in his recent starts, and now down in class against what could be a suitable field for him. He could run a huge race at around 7 to 1, so it could be a nice find there from Alistair in the penultimate race on the program. Race number 8, 16:35, the off time, 1,400 meters the distance. It's a middle stakes, and it says middle stakes, classified stakes. What is the race here, Alistair?
It's a classified stakes. It's definitely a classified stakes reel.
So it is a classified stakes, and Sharapova, Dancing Dora, both at 9 to 2. Muller Man at 11 to 2. Walled Garden at 11 to 2. It's number 2 Whirly Whirly at 13 to 2, along with Cerulean Dance, and then it's 10 to 1. And Better Ball. Those you can scratch number 6 and 12. So it's a field of 13 runners that remain. Wide open contest. I didn't think I'd see Sharapova running in this field yet, but she is significantly down in class. But she's a horse that she just seems hard to catch.
Well, I don't know if she's lost her way. I don't know what the problem is, number 4, Sharapova. I think it's a confidence issue. I remember when she came to... I was in Dubai when she was in Cape Town, number 4, Sharapova, and she had a bad experience in the starting stalls. There's always been a lot of noise about her ability. You know exactly who she's a half-sister to. But I think it's just a confidence issue with number 4, Sharapova. And while she's in the form that she's in, although she can bounce back, I think we might need to see sounds of her bouncing back before knowing she's going to bounce back. I can't suddenly see her turning it around and suddenly winning with what she's showing. But if we do see signs of life, I think we can get on her side in time, number 4, Sharapova, despite being quite well weighted here, according to the best weighted column. Obviously, fillies carry a good advantage here in classified stakes. They come in with a good sex allowance. So, that's going to enhance her chances slightly, but she's just not one to trust. I think number 2, Whirly's a play, another horse that's a specialist at this course, specialist over this course and distance, specialist over this distance, rising 10-year-old, 13-time winner, over 1.1 million rand earned. After a break, when they're probably going to retire him for the 8th time, he ran a length behind Midwinter Wind. Midwinter Wind's obviously gone and reached much higher heights. Penultimate start behind Fully Loaded was fair, and then last time again from the jury's out form, drawn on the wrong side of the track, was not disgraced at all. So I think that puts number 2 Whirly in a very positive light. Other horses who I think have chances, I think number 10 Jet Cat is alive, another veteran, an 8-year-old, high number draw, Jeffrey Saister back on board, good run behind Cash Caval last time. I think this is slightly stronger if you have a look at the average merit rating of that field and the average merit rating of this field. It is slightly stronger, but Jet Cat running in a straight line is far better than Jet Cat running around the turn. So, he'll have his chance. He should go fairly well, number 10 Jet Cat, but he hasn't won in 880 days, so maybe barking up the wrong tree. Hopefully not. I think he'll go fairly well. Dancing Dora, drawn on the inside, probably the wrong side of the track to be, but she's fit. She's done a lot of racing of late. She may have got a little bit closer to Nazaro last time, and its stable companion, but Emperor's Game ran, I thought, a tame third on Tuesday, so the form is a little bit of a question mark. And be interesting to see how Laughing William goes down the straight at the Vaal. It's going to be duck or no dinner with him. His last run was horribly disappointing, but he was so flat. Chase Morjan reported as much. He's better than that run. Whether he's good enough to win, whether he'll adapt to the straight with his running style, I don't know. Sadly, we'll only know after 100 meters of the race. So put him into trifectas and quartets, but cannot be confident.
Certainly looks to be quite a trappy contest, but number 2, Whirly, he could just be the right horse in the race at around 13-2. We're going to move along to the suggested bet now, and Alistair will take us through his suggested bet, which is a bar pot, and the bar pot will commence with the running of race number 1 out at the Vaal on Thursday, and race number 1, 12:30, is the off time. Alistair, take it away.
So the numbers are going to be 3 and 6, Parisian Walkway and Sonic Jets in the first league, but banker number 1, Little Ballerina, but 12 and 13, Grand Crescendo and Shinto Shrine, which is race 3, leg 3, but 2, 3, 4 and 6, those are going to be King's Express, Mardi Gras, Majestic Palace and Nordic Rebel, gone with half the field there. Again, nearly half the field in leg 5, which is race 5, 2 Sugar Blast, 5 Millihue, 7 Imperial Master and 10 Sukhumvit, and then the final leg of the bar put 3 horses which I probably don't need, 2 Mount Pilatus, 3 Beemanesque and 7 Mia Moo. Very, very interesting card.
That is Alistair Cohen's bar pot for racing on Thursday. Alistair, thanks very much for your time. Obviously looking forward to the card on Thursday, and hopefully we've managed to guide the guys in the right direction.
Yep, Sweet Ray Hill. I know that we'll chat soon, so looking forward to that. Big weekend coming up. We've got one of the big days in PE on Friday with the listed East Cape Derby and the listed Dahlia Plate. Those days are fantastic. The World Sports Betting 1900. A lot of Hollywoodbets Durbanville hopefuls that are just under the radar running on Saturday. They'll be alongside Hollywoodbets Kenilworth, but there's no doubt more eyes will be on KZN. And then Sunday we got the listed Secretariat Strakes. So a lot of good stuff coming in the coming days.
All the best with racing out at the Vaal on Thursday, and hopefully you find yourself in the winner's queue after race number 8.